Hi, it's me and Sailor and Hakuna just hanging out. So if you hear her huffs, she wants to play because if I've been sitting on this floor preparing for this video for the last I don't know, 15-20 minutes, and they've just now decided they want to come and be friends. And I've already done my whole mistake video before this, so we're just gonna have to deal with them and my moving hands. As you can tell, this is a book babble, so it's a whole lot of rambling and chatting, and when I sit down I don't really have a goal for it, but today I needed to because I have been focusing so much on school that the books and the reading have been in the background, but I have an idea for that this week. If you don't know, if you're new here, my bookshelf babbles are meant to be put in the background so you can get something done. It's more like a body doubling experience. I am a big book nerd and nerd in general, but my discussions can go from anything to books to TV shows to now this week we're going to talk about some of the things that I learned in my classes because I am also a university student. If this is what you like to have on or whatever, grab a tea, prop me up to do your dishes or fold some laundry, and yeah, we will get going. This is my little dog's favorite toy. It's just like a little tree thing that you can put littler toys in, but she likes it so much because she can grab it, and we can't do that too much because she does end up barking. And anyway, can you go away please? No, I'm done. Anyway, I have them both here too. They're like, I would show you, but the camera's set up perfectly. This is my old guy. It's show and tell. This is Hakuna. He's gonna be 15 in March. Here you are. Hello. Do you want to go in your bed? Yeah. Sorry. He's just hugging me right now. So good. Yeah. Okay. Go down. Go on. They get so stinky as they get older. It's funny. Okay. No. All done. All right. So we're going to leave, I think, the books for last. I do have a few books here. Wait, let's, if you want to take a minute. These are the few books that I have to somewhat discuss this week, only because I've been recommended them in different ways. But we're going to talk about my schooling because I have read one of these books. I've skimmed a few because some are language books, but my schooling. You guys, I am in psychology. I am trying to get my major in psychology and my minor in English. So I'm in 2 psychology classes right now and 1 English class. And I had to read all these short stories. And if you have any kind of focus issues, you know that if you're not fully enamored by something, you're not going to read it. And between breaking my foot, I think I sprained some toes a couple weeks ago, and just that in school, I have not been wanting to read these, but I finally got them done. And I read, let's see, the short stories that I read in the last couple of weeks is Borders by Thomas King. That was interesting. It's there's this big thing right now about how Thomas King is a pretendian and he actually has no Indigenous history, and it was like a big thing in my school, and it's a big thing in Canada. And this is going to be the last course where it's focused on Thomas King being Indigenous, because he's apparently not, but he writes these stories about culture and identity and being, this one was about being Blackfoot. The mom in the story is asked if she's Canadian or American, and she says Blackfoot, and the whole hullabaloo she had to go through at the border by not claiming Canadian or American. The next one is Squatter by Rohinton Mystery. I'm halfway through that one. I have to read that one. I've actually read one of his books, but back like 14 years ago now. It was the last book I read before I had my son, which is actually here somewhere. Oh, it's right here. A Fine Balance. Don't ask me what it's about, but I enjoyed reading this so much. And because it was so long ago and it was such a different, it was like my last like weeks of being a single gal, and it was before my whole entire life completely changed. But I have read his stuff before, and I'm going to finish that hopefully today after I post this, and then I have to write an essay on one of those stories, so we'll see. And then I read Arabe by James Joyce. That one I didn't really understand. I kind of half read that one. I did write some notes. Oh, she's trying to get a bone or something. What are you trying to do? Sorry, just a second. What are you trying to do? Do you want your baby? Here, take one of those. Here, you want your baby? She wants a bone. I don't know. I'm not gonna help her. But anyway, I didn't really understand that one. I'll probably have to skim it. Whatever one I do focus on, probably won't be that one. I do think I'm gonna do what I'm gonna bring up next is The Boat by Alistair MacLeod. I kind of like that one. My head's blanking. I have really no like interest in it right now, so my brain's just shut that door because of all the books that I have placed here. But these, I wrote my notes on. I purposely bought this paper. It's like cheap brown paper that I was like, oh, that's gonna be perfect for writing notes on. Anyway, I'm just a weirdo, okay? And then Bliss by Catherine Mansfield. And that was another short story that you have to learn to close read and whatever. And that's another one where I was like, didn't process it too much. I don't know if anybody else who's a reader, like I want to read classics and I want to read like old school stuff, and I want like, obviously I love to read, but certain things just don't interest me. If my brain ain't in it, then it's like not in it. But I blame it on the foot. One of the things that I've learned in one of my classes, I like wrote it all down here, is something called healing behavior, or is it sickness behavior? So if you're in any kind of sickness, your body releases these cells that will make you calm down. And I learned about this in this one unit in my class about like anxiety disorders and whatnot and how they treat them. And they brought up a lot in this unit that people with cancer, they usually like get put on antidepressants because their mood goes so down due to, I can't even say the words, but it's sickness behavior. And so and the reason I'm bringing this up and it's been such an interest to me is last year I went through this big mental health thing where I was trying to figure out why I was depressed. I've been depressed and anxious my entire life. It led me on this journey of diagnoses and blah, 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 blah. But in the meantime, I went to the chiropractor because I was having back issues. And I realized that I was living in like a lot of pain. And when your body is in an inflammatory state, your body does sickness behavior in order to keep you resting. And so that then makes you feel like fatigue and tired and makes you rest so your body can heal. When I started feeling better because of going to the chiropractor and aligning my spine, it was like, oh, I don't have this fog on me anymore. I didn't know I was in so much pain. I need a sippy. And I kind of like relayed that to how I've been the last few weeks because I hurt my toes, and it's been to the point like yesterday was my first good day and I hurt them like a week and a half ago. And today, like, I still need Advil, but I was feeling depressed, and I start like, my first thing is to like panic, and then my brain goes, no, your body needs you to settle down because you have hurt something in your body, and your body needs to basically spend the time to like the cells to fix and put all the energy there. Now, one of my favorite things I learned as a child was my grade 5 teacher had like told us that like you need a good amount of sleep because there's this little man in your body that goes around and fixes all the things that need to be fixed, that sleep helps. And that's just stuck with me, and that's like, okay, I gotta go to sleep, my little man, or whatever. And if I don't sleep properly or whatever, I'm like, oh, if I don't get enough sleep, I'm like, oh, my little man didn't get to like repair everything. And that's why you wake up groggy, and just the silly way my brain works. But that's something I've been, so my brain's just been like, this sickness behavior is such a incredible thing. That's so people who, you know, have chronic illness, or who people are in constant pain, your body's constantly in this behavior. That it was just something cool that I learned. And if you're a psychology nerd, then you get it. And it's so interesting. You go into this wanting to know. I went into psychology wanting to like, you know, you think talk about your feelings and stuff, but you get this whole iceberg of what psychology really is. And it's like, this is where I'm going. This is what I enjoy, and this is what I like to do and whatnot. I actually had a dream about last night of including it's, I always want to think it's so cheesy because I've always wanted to like film videos and stuff. I just didn't know where I was going to go. I thought I was going to do makeup, or I thought I was going to do outfits. I never thought like books would be the thing that I could yap about, but that's just what it ends up being. And I don't even know if it's like books that it is. It's just written information or just things that we enjoy. And in my dream last night, it was like, I was invited on this podcast, and it was such a weird situation because it was like I was invited and they were just like, so talk. I was like, what do you want me to say? Well, no, just tell us about yourself. And like, that's one thing that I'm like, I don't know. They're like, we love your vibe. What do you like to do? I'm like, and I woke up. I don't know if anybody else, it's like lately I've been like having these dreams that inspire this like thought process in my head, and I literally woke up thinking and like brainstorming that it was exciting, and that's what inspired me to like get up and film this video. Anyway, all that to say, yeah, I absolutely love what I'm studying, and the things that we'll just do jot note because I do have to get through these books and we're already 12 minutes in. But I learned about the prenatal development, environmental and maternal impacts, the drugs, illnesses, and toxins that infect prenatal development, motor development, how it differs amongst cultures, Thomas Chess's longitude study on temperament, infant caregiver attachment, patterns of attachment, which is like secure, anxious in children, and differs amongst cultures. Erickson's stage theory, 8 stages of personality development. I am writing down all the words that I can't pronounce properly, and I think I'm going to do a whole pronunciation video at one point. But Piaget's stage theory of cognitive development. That just like, it's like I'm in like a online university, so I don't watch videos. I'm constantly reading my textbook into that and do it. That's how I study. And if I hear pronunciations, it's like if I Google a video to hear about it or whatever. So I don't ever really hear pronunciation. So if I mispronounce something, it's because I'm reading it all. I'm not like listening. Milestones of children's understanding of mental states and the ages they understand concepts. That's like, that whole thing is really interesting. So they do believe that children can like add, and like at 5 months of age, they can in their brain see 3 things. If you take 2 things away, they can understand that there's going to be 1 thing left. Or like, you see 2 things, you take 1 away. It's, that concept is there at 5 months old in some studies. That's what I read, but I found that really interesting. And when we start absorbing information. Moral development, so morals and values, when do we start doing that? And it was 6 stages throughout growing up that you develop your morals. Major events during puberty, the teen brain, differences in gray and white matter, and that's what I finished up on lastly before I decided I was going to do this, of like the teen brain and the adolescent brain and like what happens after puberty, and is your brain fully developed yet? Some people, like, I don't know if they've fully understood that like the brain isn't fully developed yet, but it is like theory and thought about. And then a sense of identity, so that's what I ended up on that. And then in my other class I read about like the differences between fear and anxiety, essential features of anxiety disorders, features of certain phobias, features of social anxiety, features of panic disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, OCD, and cultural differences of worry, of sources of worry. Yeah, that's what I learned in the other class, but that one is like, that whole unit, normally, because I copy and paste and then highlight after I print everything off. It's very millennial, but it helps my brain process things. And normally when I print pages off, I'm printing 30 pages or so. This one was like 60 to 70 pages of information and statistics, and it was a lot. So when I point it like that, I'm like, oh, that's it, it's taking me that long. It's a lot of information that you have to process. And the way your brain, if you have like ADHD or some kind of learning difference, that's a lot of work. Anyway, I've just recently around this time last year realized I have like ADHD and possible learning disabilities, but we haven't dug too deep into it. I'm pretty aware, and I have the time and space to be able to have whatever, but yeah, that takes up a lot of my brain power. And it's when you're at home doing it from home, you don't have many people to talk about it with. So if you have ever studied psychology or have a niche interest in it, put it in the comments. I would love to chat about it. If you have questions I can't answer, I'm literally in the beginning stages of this degree. It's taking a while. I have, as we know, 16 different things that I have to focus on, and a hobby that is just time consuming all the time. I constantly am processing different words and theories and thoughts and worlds, and the whole processing different worlds right now, you guys, it's just ridiculous. I am trying to read When the Moon Hatched. I really, really enjoy this book, this novel. I've read 60% of it. I stressed about it because I had to return it to the library, and I still haven't, but I'm going to. And so I got it on Kindle, because you can read it on Kindle Unlimited, and so I'm reading it there, and my brain just doesn't want to. My brain just doesn't want to read it. And it's not that it's not good, it's just really good. It's just a different world. And so we are slowly working through that. I did finish a book in the last few weeks, because I'm not going to talk about it too much, because I want to do a big review video, which will come out next weekend. And it is called Is This a Cry for Help by Emily Austen. Thoroughly enjoyed this book. I recommend to read it if you are even just a little bit woke. If you are a little bit woke, this is it. It's just such a good one. Look out for a review video on that. I'm also contemplating, if you get through this, I'm contemplating doing a read with me with that. So I will end up annotating. And I annotated this, and halfway through the book, I sat down and filmed a video of my thoughts, my feelings, my favorite things, and filmed it. And I'm going to do that either after this today or tomorrow. And I'm going to do it for the rest of the book. And if that's something people are interested in, I'll do it. I'm still going to do it. And if it's worth it, or if it just takes too much time, I might not. But there will be a review video of what I thought of the book. And I went off on some tangents in my read with me, where we get a little opinionated I get very opinionated about book bans and what kind of things should be brought up in libraries. So support your local library. I'm gonna do my little 3 books here. I am contemplating a trip to Japan. Now, I do not want to be a person that goes to Japan thinking that they're going to adjust to me. I want to adjust to Japan. I need to learn different words and languages, or different words and phrases, and I would like to know a little bit more than just like hi, goodbye, and like where's the washroom. So I have a few language books and like hidden secrets. This one was nice because it like different places in Japan that you should visit, but I want it to be, it's so interesting that people make books like this still, because the internet is so thriving on where to go and more current. So, but as a book lover, I had to get this I'm going to probably go and purchase. It has all the words for like anything and everything you could imagine, like the picture, how to spell it in their language, in English, Japanese, and whatnot. And in the beginning, it has a pronunciation guide. And yeah, and then this one is common like conversational words. But you guys, my whole leg is asleep. I need to adjust so much right now. It's so asleep. Okay, we're just gonna do that. Anyway, those are my 3 little books that I've been browsing in. And I actually, if you're getting to this far in, because we're now 21 minutes, this is going to be my longest book babble, and I thought it was going to be my shortest. But if you've ever been to Japan, or you have Japanese interests or whatnot, I would love to know if you have any advice or things that you would like to suggest or whatever. I am open to it in the comments below. I have been obsessed with Wuthering Heights. It is fully dying down now, but through all of the press and stuff and the interviews that I read, Jacob Elordi had suggested a book to one of the interviewers, and the question was, if you could read a book for the first time again, what book would it be? And he had said The Executioner's Song by Norman Mailer. So I got it. Just a minute. Buddy? Yeah? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's my buddy. So, I don't know if it's performative or not. I would like to hope Jacob Elordi is not a performative reader, but I like his demeanor and his thought processes and how he always reads. And so this was like, okay, I'll read something that he likes. And it's basically, and he suggested to like go into it blind and not look into it anymore. But I didn't know if he meant like to not look at the back or whatever. But I got it with just the suggestion of like, don't look into it. But as my book babbles go, I want to suggest it to you if it's something that's interesting to you. And it is basically a 36-year-old Gary Gilmore spent half his life behind bars in a maximum security prison. He found support in his cousin and fell in love with a woman named Nicole. He finds notoriety internationally that rewrites American crime and punishment. These are just like, I read the excerpt and then I write my own little excerpt about it, and I don't know if it means like he rewrites American crime and punishment, and if that means the story, because I don't think Crime and Punishment was written, no, that was by a Russian author. So is it the story? And that's like the question. So Jacob Elordi suggested this, and my little hook and sinker was the whole, is it like rewriting Crime and Punishment? Which then my brain goes, do I have to read Crime and Punishment now? Oh no, is he going to do Crime and Punishment? You can't put Jacob Elordi in another adaptation that's going to disappoint people but also make people so happy. I don't know, guys. I have 3 historic fiction books here that were suggested to me from different authors, but then they share a book. So 2 different authors and then one that's shared. Hello. Oh, are we having a moment? Did he let you outside? Is it still cold outside? He comes and tells me that it's still cold outside. It's too cold outside, isn't it? You got you got snow all over in your furs. You do. You get your hair cut this week. Anyway, can you please leave me alone for a bit? Just a bit. Just a moment. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Goodbye. Get out of here. Go away. They're very happy. Go away. What? What? I can't make the snow go away. I have to finish this video. So these books are, I'm gonna read The Fourth Princess by Janie Chang, and it's my little notes say it takes place in Shanghai in 1911. Lisan Liu gets a job as secretary for a wealthy woman on a manor on the outskirts of international settlement in Shanghai, kind of thing. So, and they go on this, and then the other character is Caroline, and she's excited to move to China with her husband, and their paths cross. Is that what this one is? I'm just quietly reading that. It's just a historic fiction in Shanghai, 1911. I really am excited to get into this. I probably won't read this one first. I'm going to read the one between her, Janie Chang, and Katie Quinn, The Phoenix Crown. I'm going to read this one first because it was just released, I think, and they're doing a book tour, and I am going to hopefully go and see them discuss this book and their other books. And this one takes place in San Francisco, 1906, and there's 2 people, one who is a singer who needs her career rekindled, and a embroiderist trying to escape an arranged marriage. Her name is Suling, and their paths cross, and an earthquake shakes San Francisco and creates a mystery that leads to a quest. And if that isn't exciting, I don't know what it is. The final book we are going to discuss in the longest book babble of my little tiny YouTube career is The Briar Club by Kate Quinn. And this is about, this is in Washington, 1980, about an all-female boarding house called Briarwood House. And it's about the lives of the women in this house, but the main character, Grace, has dinner parties weekly and hides a secret. I will write sometimes and I can't even read my own writing. It lightens the changing roles of women in post-war America. Post-war. Hold on, you guys. Oh, this is so bad. Yeah, post-war America. I got that right. That's it. That's my book babble. I did it. I managed it. It's the longest one. I hope you stuck around. I hope you got your dishes done. I hope you got your laundry done. If you have suggestions for me, please put them in the comments. If you have book recommendations, please put them in the comments. Everything I say is an opinion. Everything I talk about is what my brain thinks of. If there is if there's enlightenment or expansion that I can do, I would gladly do that. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you for watching. Bye.